Hey, and welcome back to Fact vs. Friction, where theme park facts meets real-world friction. Today we're going to take a quick break from our Dollywood coverage to talk about the Forbidden Turn, which is Busch Gardens Williamsburg's new for 2026 Verbolten update. Now, in my opinion, Verbolten is one of the most underrated coasters out there, but it also has a critical flaw that no one seems to talk about. What is that? Is that the reason for the Forbidden Turn update? Let's separate the hype from the hassle. Okay, so I just need like 60 seconds to talk about the context for Verbolten because it's necessary if we're going to talk about the changes and how it fits into the park. You see, Verbolten replaced the Big Bad Wolf, which was this free swinging suspended coaster and probably the best example of a ride like that. And for good reason, people absolutely loved that ride. For starters, it was for the family. It had a very low height requirement of 42 inches, but forgetting all the facts and stuff, just look at how these cars freely swing through the layout. And they swing more, the more they're loaded up. And so the concept of it is just so cool because you're waiting in line, which is like, okay, this is a downer. But you know it pays off in the experience of having like a fully loaded train. Every ride's kind of different in that regard too. To me, it kind of reminds me of like those family water raft rides where you like load up as many heavy people as you can onto the raft because you know it's just going to be like way crazy when you go down. That's what Big Bad Wolf was like. So understandably, people were upset when Busch Gardens was like, yo, we're scrapping this. And from Busch Gardens' perspective, I mean, the ride reached the end of its service life. The company that made it was no longer even existed. And it was impossible to get new parts for the maintenance and operations. So that was all a nightmare. So Busch Gardens is like, look fam, we hear you, we got you. We're gonna spend $54 million. Back in 2012, by the way. And they're really gonna do it up. And when adjusted for inflation, that makes it like the 6th most expensive roller coaster ever. Certainly Busch Gardens' most expensive ride ever. And then it opens up, people kind of look at the stats, and it's, for the enthusiasts out there just weren't that many elements. It's got the launch, a helix, the trick, and a drop. Especially when we look at the comps. I mean, look what came out in the years around 2012 and the budget for those rides. But what about the ride experience? Well, I think that's where Verbolten really shines, and it's really underappreciated in the coaster community because back in 2012, Verbolten was way ahead of its time to the point that we don't even have the words for it at the time. Like now we would call it a story coaster. It's got multiple LSM launches, 3 stops along the way. It has this surprise trick that I won't spoil for you, but only a handful of other coasters in the world do it. I actually think it was the first coaster in the US to have this trick, and the only one else now to this day is the $300 million technological wonder that is Hagrid's very long name motorbike adventure. And Verbolten does this back in 2012 for a fraction of the budget, at least of Hagrid's, all while running 5 trains. So forget what the coaster enthusiasts say. Verbolten is elite. More so than any other ride at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, it feels like something that you'd ride at Disney or Universal. Even the queue line is all themed and cool. But like I said, it has a critical flaw. I don't hear anybody talking about it. And that's that it's like rip your face off intense positive G's. Officially, it's 4.2 G's, which is the second highest in the park, only next to Alpengeist, which is 4.5 G's. And that's even accounting for their newer rides, like Pantheon. Like, this family coaster, Verbolten, pulls more positive G's than Pantheon, Griffin, Apollo's Chariot, all of them. So in my opinion, the strong positive G's are the major friction point for experiencing the ride with young riders. Now, that moment of high G's is in the dark and it happens fast. I'm sure there's plenty of kids that aren't bothered by it, especially because the rest of the ride is such a cool experience. Okay, now for the Forbidden Turn update. I mentioned that Verbolten is like a story coaster, and it is insofar as it has multiple stops. But truthfully, those stops are fun for the anticipation and your own imagination, and that's what's being addressed by this 2026 Forbidden Turn update. Before, you were just sort of sitting in the dark, there was creepy sounds, this cool, ominous breeze. Actually, incredibly powerful air conditioning. Major props to whoever spec'd the AC for Verbolten show building. Straight up, they could have rethemed the ride to be Antarctica Penguin Encounter and not touch the HVAC. It's amazing, especially in Virginia summer humidity. Anyway, getting back to the Forbidden Turn update, documents and permits discovered by BGWfans.com show this massive tree that you'll be winding around and through in the building. Presumably, the tree will be lit up really dramatically as well, so there'll be a lot more to look at when the ride comes to its stops. There's also hints that there's animatronics that will tell you the story along the way. The ride always had these arrays of speakers along the track because it was before onboard audios. Those can be used to their full potential now too for a true story coaster experience. I just wish there was a way to slow down the train on the Helix and lower the G-forces, because it would also give you time and headspace to take in all the new theming. We'll see if that's possible. But I just give Busch Gardens Williamsburg tremendous credit for taking on this Forbidden Turn retheme. It's like Verbolten was always trying to be a story coaster, and adding more visuals and effects to the sections that you're stopped at, I feel like the ride is rising to its full potential. It's also a good sign for the park as a whole, because Pantheon seemed like it was themed to a construction site, and not even a Greek construction site. So it's amazing to see BGW go above and beyond for this Verbolten Forbidden Turn update. Now, this is a new channel, so your voice makes a huge difference. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, sub. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thank you.